The divine feminine is in chaos mode right now. Mother Earth is screaming in pain. All of this nonsense with separating ourselves from our shadow, it needs to stop. All of these things that people are saying in the spiritual community, stay high vibrational, it needs to stop. Any shadow energy, any negative feeling and emotion that you are feeling right now, it is coming from our mother. It is coming from Mother Earth. It's coming from the divine feminine. She's trying to wake us up that this is a spiritual thing. The language of the spirit is emotion. It is feeling. Connect back to your heart space, because if we leave our mother to do the work alone, we will see a side of Mother Nature that we do not want to see. We will see a side of the feminine that we do not want to see. People forget that in her original state, the divine feminine is chaos, it is darkness, it is destruction. If we do not want to see a side, if we do not want to see a side of the feminine that we don't want to see, we will join her. We will connect back to our heart space. That's how you connect to her, you feel. We will join her in her fight. Create space to feel your pain. Don't project it outwards. When you project a negative energy outwards, you project your negativity outwards instead of claiming it, instead of going within to understand it, to feel it. You are creating an entity that fuels this system. The same system that is wounding our mother. The same system that has wounded the embodiment of the divine feminine for how long? Everything here is a distortion of truth. They want us to be distracted outside. Oh, us versus them. Black versus white. Rich versus poor. Men versus women. Because if we separate ourselves from their voice, we stop tuning into their frequency for a second, we will see that it is not, oh, us versus them. It is everybody on this earth that bleeds against a system that wants us in pain. Because that pain, that destruction, that strife fuels them. Our mother is screaming. Our mother is screaming. We're already seeing it in nature. Please let us heed. Let us listen to her cries. Let us listen to the cries of our souls that want deliverance. Our souls want to be free. A freedom that exists in the heart space. In honoring everything that we feel. Once we free ourselves, we free her. This is a spiritual thing. Please. Reclaim your intuitive gifts. Reclaim your divinity. Know who you are. Know who you are. Speak. Create space to be angry. I'm seeing that so much. People are like, oh, I feel angry, but I don't know what to do with it. Go and scream somewhere. Scream in the forest. Scream into a pillow. Scream into something. Feel. Feel it. Don't control it. Feel it. You're like, oh, I feel like I'm losing my mind. So lose it. So lose it. Lose it. Join her. Feel. All these things, people are distorting what the feminine is. They're looking at, oh, toxic feminine. They're saying, oh, I saw somebody say that the divine feminine needs to be reined in. No judgment or hate to that creator. But please, you do not rein in the feminine. You don't rein in the feminine. And don't look at this stuff that they have outside about dark feminine energy. Oh, how to attract a man. That is a distortion. Because they knew that the divine feminine, this is what happens when, I start to stutter. They knew that the dark feminine was rising, her in her authentic form. She was coming. So what they do is they go and saturate those spaces first with false information. The dark feminine is destructive. The dark feminine in her truest form is what this place is afraid of. Because you cannot control chaos. They've tried to subjugate the feminine. They cannot. They will not. Connect back to your heart space. Honor yourself. Your soul is screaming just as Mother Earth is screaming, just as the divine feminine is screaming to be heard. Every version of you that was in pain, and at that time you did not have the capacity, the emotional capacity to sit with that pain. That version of you is waiting for a savior, and you are the only person who can do it. It's not a healer, it's not a modality, it's not meditation, it's not yoga. It is you. It is your presence, it is your awareness, it is your willingness to surrender. Your willingness to feel. Wake up. Wake up. This is not us versus them. This is everybody that bleeds against a spirit, against an entity that wants us asleep. Wake up. If we leave our mother, if we leave Mother Earth, if we leave the divine feminine to fight this war alone, to fight this battle alone, if we leave our mother to fight this battle alone, we will see a side of the divine feminine we don't want to see. A good example of this is Dark Mother Sekhmet. That when she was in her state of rage, not one of the gods could approach her. They had to go and converse with each other. See, how can we bring her into a state? How can we settle her? Because if we don't settle her, it's over for everybody. We do not want to see that side of the feminine. Connect to your heart space. Feel, rage, scream, whatever you need to do to let out your pain, do it. Because if she has to carry the burden of this alone, if she has to carry the burden of this alone, we will not like the consequences. We will not like the consequences. Wake up. From my heart to yours. Wake up.